Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out ShoeOnHead. I haven't reacted to her before. I have watched a couple of her videos. I don't know how she ended up coming up in my feed and then staying in my feed. I mean, I've subscribed to her, but I'm saying originally, I don't know how she just popped up in there. Anyhow, guys, let's hop into this, see what this thought epidemic is about.
Years ago, I made a video about how if you don't like seeing lewd things online, simply close your eyes and walk away. But what happens when you do close your eyes and walk away, but no matter where you walk away to, you bump right back into it? Whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, or even Twitch.
Now, I do have a Twitch account that I had started, but I haven't watched anyone play games on it. I haven't done any of that. I haven't even played any games online with it. I set up the account and then I just never did anything with it. But from what I can tell, she's going to talk about is 95% of all girls that are on Twitch that I've seen come through different feeds is their boobs are hanging out. Basically, they're topless almost. I mean, they're doing everything they can. It's basically softcore porn to a degree, to where you're basically teasing a bunch of simps and a bunch of young kids that aren't old enough. That's basically all you're doing, if you ask me. And they know it. But then if you look at them and call them a hoe, oh, they're gonna lose their mind. It's like, well, judge by the book. The outside of the book.
Dasani water. I'm gonna get canceled for this. All these years, and this is what's gonna get me canceled. I don't want to hear it from any water.
What's the deal with Dasani water? Like, why would that get you canceled? I mean, I've drank it. I've drank, what is it, Deer Park? Yeah, Deer Park, Deer Creek, Deer Park. Either way, they all taste about the same to me.
Snobs, okay? Where are my fellow Dasani heads at? But anyway, do you like the red hair? A lot of the Twitch thoughts that I'm going to be talking about have red hair. I felt like I was missing out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the Twitch Th0t Epidemic and its consequences, as well as OnlyFans culture and the de-civilization of I promise this will all make sense. Maybe. Like all my videos are just kind of messy brain vomit. I mean, I guess that's one way you could be sure I'm not plagiarizing. When I start to sound smart and make sense, that's a red flag. I figured out how to use ChatGPT. So for those of you who are unaware, Twitch is a video game streaming website, or at least it used to be, where people often stream themselves playing video games and interact with their viewers. But recently, in the past few years, it has been invaded by women. But not only—
Imagine that. I mean, well, I can't even say that. I was going to say, well, maybe trans women are stepping into that, but I really haven't heard nothing about that. But yes, anything that a man can do, a woman can do too. Including, you know, show their tits all over the place so they can get views and money.
Only women. Naked women. Now you might be asking, Shoo, what is wrong with that? And normally, you'd be correct. But Twitch is a website for kids, advertised for users
exactly
12 and up, and predominantly used by young boys. And the question on everyone's mind is—
right, because guys always get dogged out for, you know, playing video games. It's PlayStation 5 or me, and he chose the PS5. And it's like, well then why are y'all hopping in it? Oh, because that's where all the guys are, and y'all need guys' money to get by. Because otherwise, if it was based on just women, just like the WNBA, except for Caitlin Clark, now that she's in there, it's getting much better. But yeah, you know, women wouldn't watch women sit around almost butt naked all the time. No, they went there because there's guys there.
Are these evil Jezebels preying on today's youth?
I'm telling you, if I could make a bunch of money by playing video games and a bunch of women, of course, you know, in my age range or above 18, however you want to put it. I ain't talking about, I don't see how they're getting away with it, you know, having, you know, 12-year-olds, but then again, they can't regulate the internet. Either way, besides the point, if I could sit and play video games and chicks would be all in my feet, I'd do it, because you get to sit and play video games and make money. You know, that's one advantage of being a female.
Or are they simply the product of capitalism? Clever, sneaky women taking advantage of people living under a brutal system in order to selfishly make money. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor. When you're browsing the internet, you may information easy to set up. What's going on with Twitch? 2 weeks ago, this tweet showed up on my Twitter timeline. What's going on with Twitch? Which showed a streamer wearing no shirt, swinging her fun bags around slightly off camera every time she got a donation. So for strictly...
Wow, they literally have turned it into the digital age of strip club, basically. Or OnlyFans, pretty much.
Research purposes, I went to Twitch to see if this was real, and surely enough it was, and it wasn't just one streamer, it was many, it was multiple. It was the...
That's insane. I didn't know nothing about this. In this video, I think it said it was a year old. I never heard nothing about it. I always seen the one sitting there in some V-neck shirt or tank top with everything just about hanging out. I didn't hear nothing about completely topless girls.
The entire home page. And then when you went to click on one of the streams, it just took you there. No verification needed, no login required, nothing. And the whole internet pretty much agreed this was insane. Not everyone, we will get to that, but most people agreed this was crossing a line. Because of all the outrage, Twitch changed the rules. Not to fix the website, they changed the rules in order to save the Twitch thoughts. Twitch actually doubled down and made it so twerking, pole dancing, and artistic nudity was allowed.
Are you serious? Twerking, grinding, pole dancing are now allowed without a label. That's crazy, man. Now you let a dude get up there and pull everything out, the whole world will flip upside down. Dude will be locked up and in jail. It's insane, man. Double standards.
Allowed. Artistic nudity. Right. So obviously, Twitch is run by simps.
See how artistic this D is.
We knew this. Anyway. Artistic nudity. So like, can you glue googly eyes onto your d? Can you do like a little meat spin on camera with googly eyed, and that would be considered cool and fine?
No.
Because it's art, right, Twitch? Why am I still doing this? So then VTubers, animated YouTubers, took advantage of this new artistic nudity rule and started streaming their avatars butt-ass naked.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
Only for them to get banned while the Twitch thoughts remained. Clearly...
Wait a minute, whoa. You're telling me one that is actually, it takes a skill to do and draw and color. That is art. That is the definition of art. That gets banned. But a girl that can't seem to get her shirt over her head, now that is art. Well, we're not going to ban that. Wow.
2D girl discrimination. A few days later, Twitch finally banned the Twitch.
Hey, I love 2D girls, and I don't mean that. I mean double D's, D's. There's two of them, so there's still 2Ds.
Thoughts for a day.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
This has been going on for a very long time. From hot tub streams to ASMR ear licking.
What the hell?
Twitch has just becoming a...
I am so sorry. That right there is annoying. But I get it. Everyone has their fantasy, or they have certain things that turns them on. But my reaction is to want to punch when I hear that. I hate it. But that's just me. Maybe I'm the weird one. There we go. I'm the weird one.
A cesspool for this stuff, especially in the past 3 years, following a pattern I have been seeing online. A huge increase of OnlyFans models and everywhere. And it isn't just my observation, it's a fact. There are many...
That's part of the damn rich elites deliberately trying to tear up and throw our society in a downspin. And then when they finally realize that it's going to be too late, they'll be like, oh, well, we didn't know. It's like, yeah, you're living in your castle way up on the hill. You can't see all the illegal aliens coming in and all the thoughts and all the STDs and diseases. No.
Many studies that came out that show pornography and pornography addiction increased significantly during the pandemic.
And that's bad, man, for kids 12 and up. And you know for a fact there's got to be 7, 8, 9-year-olds on there, because there's no way to check the IDs or nothing to get verification that the person that's using the item is that age. And even if they were all 12, it is going to screw them up mentally times 100. Because I remember back when I was 12, man, we had to go find Playboys. There was no internet, didn't have none of that. And I still turned, well, that's the thing, I turned out crazy and a freak. But having it like they got the internet now with all the porn sites, and it's all of a click of a button, instant this and that, and there's no imagination, no nothing. It's going to warp them, and it's not going to be pretty. And they're wondering why the birth rate of every country, Japan's down, China's down, US is down. We're all down.
Especially for young people, and hasn't decreased since. And the amount of people making content on OnlyFans has skyrocketed. Being locked in our houses absolutely did something to our brains. You used to have to go out of your way to see this stuff, and now it's everywhere. Now,
see, the elites, I'm telling you, they wanted to control us, have power, get us used to being stuck in the house. You're not going to have money, you're not going to have this, you're going to live in chaos, and you're going to like it. No. And now I hear the, is it Charles Schwab? I know it's something Schwab. He was the head of the WEF. Now he's being investigated by the WEF. And I think he should. I think he should be under the jail along with Fauci.
Now compare this to how I talked about this issue a few years ago, where I would make fun of people for complaining about. This is like walking into a strip club and being like, get your horny asses out of here. The difference is now.
Yeah, but you got to get up, drive, go there. Then you got to sit there and, got to talk to them. They got to get the money out of you, which some of them definitely aren't worth it. Other ones can coax it out of you. And then other ones you actually do want to give them the money so you can get your dance or whatever. But clicking it online and everybody in the world can see it. Because see, when you're in a strip club, as far as I know, I think 99% of them don't allow cameras to where you can be in there taking photos. And they got to know your age to get in. But the girl isn't being plastered across the entire world to where if someone wanted to, they could see everything you got, record it, and blackmail you. They can do anything. It's completely different at a strip club.
Now, everywhere is the strip club. It's to the point where even meme accounts on Twitter are being paid to discreetly advertise OnlyFans pages. And you can't even block the accounts that show up as ads on Twitter. Great website, Elon. 13 plus, by the way. And anyone who points this out is called a prude or a conservative. If you have an issue with naked women making softcore.
See, I've always thought she was more of a conservative, but I mean, maybe she's just got common sense. I don't know. As far as I know, she's a liberal, but she says she's not a leftist. Me personally, a liberal is a leftist. Bernie Sanders, he's on the left. He is a leftist. He's fucking far left, and he's a liberal, but he's far left.
On a website full of children, you're the problem. How does the overall well-being of society affect you, bigot? Most of the internet seems to agree that this Twitch thing was wrong, but there were a lot of people mad at me and others for pointing out the obvious. So we're gonna respond to some of those critiques from people who disagree on this subject, and then we're gonna talk a little more deeply about all of this. Because I feel like it's a little deeper than the Twitch thoughts. The Twitch thoughts are just a symptom of a disease. Why doesn't Twitch just make a new 18+ site? They do this on Twitch because the market is already saturated on actual porn cam sites. They won't stand out. They can find a larger, younger audience on Twitch.
Right, and
what I'm trying to say is, these should be banned. Okay, so my tweet was a little harsh, but am I wrong? Blaming these women for what Twitch allows and calling them accomplishes nothing except morally grandstanding that you think you're better than them.
No one said that. I've called many a women a whore. I don't like the word whore because I think it sounds stupid. It's just like the C-O-C-K. I hate that word. I hate it. Anyhow, just because you call them that doesn't mean that you're better than them. Just means you're easy. That still doesn't mean that you think you're better than them. Now, I'm sure if a woman says it to another woman, then maybe. But then if that woman looks back at herself, a lot of them will be like, maybe I should shut up.
So first of all, I am better than them. So are you. So is everyone who doesn't make on Twitch.
I will give this girl credit. I have never seen her wear not even a V-neck. I've always seen her in some kind of dress or something like that that comes up. Not saying you always got to wear it, but I'm saying she doesn't throw her stuff out there. And from what I can tell from this video and others, it looks like she's good to go.
Twitch. And second of all, I know calling them whores does nothing. I did it because it was funny. These are grown-ass women toying with the TOS. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know they're walking...
And they know no one will kick them off or ban them. Now, here's the thing. You know you can go on Facebook, right? And there's the 18 and older group. And you know, you got your age and everything on Facebook. But they have these couple chats and stuff. And me and my ex-fiance that's, you know, she passed away from breast cancer. But anyhow, Facebook blocked and deleted my account for a picture where I'm wearing boxers. You can't actually see anything. You see the outline, but you can't see anything. But meanwhile, in the chat room and everywhere else, in that particular group, titties and the kitty cats were everywhere. And yet they did that to me, and I never could figure out why. They never would give me an answer because it's always some automated thing. But yeah, these women can do it because ain't no one going to block them. It's like, oh, but they're just boobies. But yet you can't walk out. Yeah, women, do y'all really want to walk around being able to go shirtless like men do? I would love it. I love breasts. I do. But there's also psychos out there. There really is. And they will be the first ones to ruin it for us men. Now, of course, there's plenty of titties I don't want to see. But at the same time, I can take the offset. But it's the psychos. It's the crazy ones. Those are the ones they will ruin it faster than you could ever. You can't even blink that fast. It would happen so quick.
Walking a fine line. That's why they're here, on Twitch, and not on the hundreds of adult websites that exist. If a pair of titties are so dangerous to you, maybe you should lock yourself in the cave. Cry more.
Yeah, but the thing is, the titties ain't dangerous to the person. It's dangerous to a 12-year-old kid, a 8-year-old kid, a 13, 14-year-old kid. It's dangerous to relationships, because I don't care if the kid's 15, 16, 18. His girl sees he's watching some chick with her everything out. I mean, come on. You know that's going to be an argument.
Or little bro, and tell your fellow bros to stop thinking with their...
Wait a minute. Whoa. Cry more, little bro, and tell your fellow bros to stop thinking with their dicks. Meanwhile, you got your tits out and your hoo-ha out. Well, what do you want them to think with? Yeah, she's definitely, I can tell you right now, yeah. She's got at least a mile's worth of D's before you get to the end of that line.
Hello, fellow bros. Stop thinking with your dicks. Brace yourselves. The incels about to lose their minds and act like women are ruining Twitch. Lol at the men in these comments admitting they are not attracted to women. I'm sorry you don't like hot women. Maybe work on the internalized misogyny. Nah, sorry.
And that's another thing about YouTube I'm curious about. I have come across videos on YouTube to where it's basically a see-through bathing suit or something on a fashion show, and you can literally see everything, but yet there's no nudity on YouTube. One, they're losing out a crap load of money. Two, you can see it. It's not always blurred out. It's not. So you got a double standard there.
Sorry. If you don't like huge oiled up milkers bouncing around on a Twitch stream, I'm just gonna assume you hate women.
Yeah, well, Thing is about them big, huge, oiled up milkers, a lot of times they're crisscrossed, oval shaped, one's pointing up, one's down. You know what I mean? Some of the guys out there know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love big titties, but a lot of times the bigger they are, the more chances they are messed up. Or you got pancake nipples, or God, there's a million things I could go on about. But yet you get the B's and the C's 90% of the time. Perfect.
Women. Do straight men even like women? Oh, you're not sexualizing women? You're not just gooning to every woman you see? What do you hate women? What?
Stop thinking with your dick. Do straight men even like women? It's like you said, stop thinking with your... Well, I don't know if that's the same girl or not. I don't think so.
Are you gay? How did they manage to reverse engineer being sexist into not going awooga, awooga, honk, honk every time they see a woman?
Ah, if she lost the eyeball, one of them things must have flew off.
Incredible. Huge fan of these mammoth milkers, but I do worry about the dynamic and weirdness of women who are essentially sex workers interacting with and asking for donations from chat on a site largely used by young men. Feels like a race to the...
Oh, I mean, that's a double standard, a race to the bottom. Yeah, they are racing to the bottom while the guys that are on there are also racing to her bottom. So, yeah.
Bottom. When Vosh and I, the people who talk about f***ing Pokemon, are saying things have gotten weird, I think that's proof that things have gotten weird. As a sex worker, I agreed. I dislike the...
Sorry, I keep pausing it. Normally I don't, but I really don't get the hentai porn. I do not understand that. Man, I was trying to quit smoking. I did not mean to light a cigarette while I was on here, because I'm trying to quit smoking.
Blurring of adult and all ages platforms like Twitch and TikTok, but I also don't know what men expected when it's so successful either. I don't know, I guess men expected women not to get borderline...
Well, maybe men don't want to blow all their money and give it to some woman they're never going to meet, and therefore their bank accounts get smaller and smaller, but that's their fault. That truly is their fault, because there's free porn everywhere. There's no point in paying anybody for nothing ever. Nope. Y'all don't want to know my
naked
past.
On a website occupied with children, maybe? The bar is really not that high. There is a market for literally everything. That doesn't make literally everything excusable. If you give your kid unrestricted access to the internet, that's a you problem. Parents have to take some level of responsibility over their child's online.
So they're supposed to look over their kid's shoulder the whole time because they think their kid is on a game site. Video games, not a chick butt naked on camera. That's the difference. No one said, here son, take the internet and go get on the porn sites all you want. It's not what they're saying at all. Never did. I'm sure there's some that have, but that's them. But yeah, if the parents think the kid is got something to do with video games, they're not even thinking about some chick being butt naked.
Online content consumption. So I agree with this. Of course I agree with this. Parents should absolutely be monitoring what their kids are looking at online. The issue is Twitch is advertised as a website for them. It is advertised for users 12 and up. So parents will naturally assume that the website doesn't feature like this. I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption to make. Like, I don't have to sit and...
Because if that's the case, you might as well make all strip clubs where you can be 12 years old to get in. I mean, except for you can't drink or smoke. But if you can sit there and look at that, you might as well just take all age restrictions off, because the internet has screwed everything up, man.
Watch Nick Jr. constantly with a 10-year-old just in case Peppa Pig decides to go Girls Gone Wild. It's safe to assume that is not going to happen. So yes, you should be monitoring what your kids are doing online, but this isn't like a kid going onto an 18+ website. This is a kid going on a website that is advertised for them, that is made for them. So this is in big part the website's problem. A lot of people were saying that the solution to this would be making Twitch 18+, which I agree makes perfect sense to do, but the thing is, Twitch won't make it 18+, because that's what drives away advertisers. Lots of advertisers won't advertise on websites that are 18+. It's too risky, it's bad for their brand. And Amazon, the owner of Twitch, needs more money, of course. Same reason Twitter isn't being made 18+, because at the end of the day, the richest men in the world need more money. And apparently, Twitch is going bankrupt. No wonder they want to keep the Twitch thoughts on the platform. Also, I didn't even know that Twitter was only 13+ until embarrassingly recently. Elon, I beg of you, either make Twitter 18+ or get rid of the porn. I personally think the former is the better idea because I'm tired of seeing unsolicited opinions of minors on the internet, and I just don't get tired of seeing images of strangers' butt pop up on my Twitter timeline while I'm scrolling in public. Always a joy. But think of the children aside, Twitch is just not a website for this. There are thousands of other websites for this. There are so many, so why do these women have to do this on a website not for this? Well, it's simple. Because the websites that are made for this stuff are already oversaturated. The market is full, and basically these mids are not going to stand out on a dirty webcam site where there's
Well, that, and they're getting them while they're young. They're trying to hook them in as soon as possible. First set of tits the kid's ever seen, he's hooked.
Thousands of other people doing exactly what they're doing. But when there's only a few dozen on Twitch doing it, they're more likely to stand out, get more followers, make more money, and attract an audience that wouldn't normally go on those other sites. Unfortunately, in this case, a much younger audience. I remember in like 2008 or so, I did a fan meetup, and most of the people that came were in their 20s, in college, in their 30s, but there were like a few 12, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds with their parents, and I was just like, oh no. Like, it just didn't even occur to me that people that young would be watching my content or interested in my content. But just the fact that people that age knew about me was so scary. So I just have to wonder, like, how are these people not feeling that way? Like, I didn't purposely go out of my way to attract that audience.
Sure you didn't. No, I'm kidding.
These people are going out of their way to attract that audience. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing it on this website. They would be doing it on the websites this stuff is for. What makes it possibly even grosser is the fact that Twitch uses in-game money, meaning a kid could use their parents' money to buy Twitch bits or whatever the and then use those Twitch bits in order to get these women to interact with them and to shake their and their parents would never know. Many people suspect this is the reason Twitch made that change, but I don't know. It does line up with Twitch's MO. They will do anything to keep these women on their platform. They are their cash cow. They bring in the big bucks. After all, there is a market for this. Men takes two to tango. Most of these bitches would be broke if it wasn't for your coomer ass.
Yeah, but well, now that you said it like that, if you really want to think about it, how many women are raising their kids and do not have the father around? But that's besides the point. The thing is, it's not just me. It's not grown men, because you said it yourself. We would just go to an actual porn site. So this is based to go after ones that aren't supposed to be on those sites, getting the money from guess who that's not checking their internet. But then again, you can't expect the parent to be looking for that on a site that's 12 and up.
Oh wow, sex workers working under capitalism? How crazy. Every man in this comment section.
Oh wow, sex workers working under capitalism? Yeah, that's disguised as a video game thing for 12-year-olds and up. Huh. Sounds like you're in the wrong field of work there, buddy. Shouldn't you go to the porn site? Oh, but it's oversaturated and no one would look at your used up self, I guess you could say.
Has mommy issues and gets no actions. Y'all.
It's alright, they can say all they want, but whenever they get to go to bed at night and know that half the world has seen everything they got, and now they're like, nah, I've seen those not even worth it. Because y'all are making it to where sex doesn't mean anything. It's like used to when you got to be with a girl and you seen, like, it was the first, like, it meant something. Now they're oversaturating it through the internet to where it means absolutely nothing, and women will degrade themselves in a heartbeat. And believe me, I've been around town. I'm not even gonna go into it, but anyhow, I was a hoe. I was a bad hoe, but I was a good hoe because I didn't lie to people. I never lied to girls. I told them the truth. I told them what was up.
All mad she's making more money with less effort. Finding this tool makes you a pervert. Go to your dead mom.
Wow.
Smartest Twitter user. Sounds like you're just mad you can't manipulate a following in the same fashion. Granted, I don't condone it, but you're coming off as salty as a group of people found a loophole around the TOS and are abusing it. Frankly, these
It's not a loophole, yo. It says nothing about nudity or porn on Twitch for 12-year-olds. So this person is like actually stupid.
women should be praised for thinking outside the box and pandering to an
Thinking outside the box meaning your tits.
audience that isn't oversaturated. You can't exactly criticize them for being smart enough to know which outlet has a higher chance of yielding income. What do you mean?
Or
It
to
takes
know
2
that they
seconds to
won't
take off
get
my shirt.
spotted
Literally
on
any
the
woman in the
actual-
world can do this, but most don't because making on a website mostly populated by minors is gross and insane. Gonna be honest,
you
I
go.
thought you were a dude. Funny you shame the women when it's clearly women just taking advantage of the system we live under, capitalism. Yet you call yourself a socialist? A lot of issues do come down to capitalism, but as we do so often with other things,
Well, because socialism can't afford it because they're all broke and don't have internet or even indoor plumbing for that matter.
you can criticize people exploiting this system and exploiting the loopholes in this system. We don't just hand wave away politicians buying stock. We don't just hand wave away Jeff Bezos making his employees pee in bottles just because we live under capitalism and it is what it is. No. Yes, ultimately, I guess it's a capitalism issue. It's a TOS issue. But you'd never apply this
But it has nothing to do with capitalism. It has nothing to do with capitalism. What it is, if Twitch was 18 and up or it said something about nudity to where the parents knew, no one would give a shit. But the fact that it says 12 and up and mentions nothing about nudity, there's your issue. It's an age thing. Has nothing to do with capitalism. Go make your money. Go hop on a porn site. But you won't do that for the simple fact you know no one will spot your ass.
standard to people marketing gambling or crypto scams on Twitch, which is funny because like a year ago there was like a bunch of gambling drama on Twitch, and one of the biggest critiques people had was there are children on this site. You're basically selling gambling to children. So how is this any different? It's amazing that just because they're women, suddenly they get a pass. And if you call it out, you are slut-shaming or a pick-me, of course. Oh look, Queen Pick-me is at it again, putting down other women. Shue is I'm not like other girls personified. Okay, this insult normally doesn't work, but it especially doesn't work here because I am like other girls. Most women, in fact, do not make on Twitch. It's incredible how criticism of even like a single woman is seen as some personal betrayal, and the only reason you would do so is male attention. I never understood why I need to feel some sort of like loyalty to complete strangers just because we were born the same sex. I don't know you b****s. I don't support all of you. Some of you are
And believe me, most women, y'all should know that because y'all don't get along with each other. Y'all are worse than dudes. I don't hang around guys, period. I don't. I really don't. 100%. All my friends are girls. Every one of them.
dumb. Like as if these kids don't have access to porn at the tips of their fingertips. Trust me, if they want porn, they will get it. There aren't any toddlers on Twitch as far as I'm aware. It's 13 plus. Do Americans think children will be traumatized by seeing naked women? Do they not realize those same kids can—
Oh my God, that right there, this girl just made me lose brain cells. If that's the case, then why is it for like ever there's always been 18 and older, and then if it doesn't matter when the kids start seeing porn, why is there an age limit on, oh well he's 50 and dating a 12-year-old? But hey, if porn, I mean, you got to look at what you're saying and imagine it the other, like, you're not making sense. Oh my God.
can and do simply go to porn sites to jerk off. Shue, I hate to tell you this, but the average kid is seeing way worse stuff online all the time. Yeah, that's not a—
That's not what we're talking about. They're going to the site that has the stuff on it. The fact is, this is a site that's supposed to be good. No nudity, no porn, no nothing, and yet it's there. That's the issue. Why is everyone trying to make it out that Shue is going after these women? It's like, no, do what you want on a porn site, but you won't because it's oversaturated and you'll get lost in the shuffle and no one will ever see you or even give you any attention. That is the issue. You
Not
don't
a good thing. Let's be real. This ain't nothing to kids nowadays. I grew up with the internet as a kid/teen and was able to find stuff back in 2002. where now it's literally so easy to find stuff and most teens have phones, I don't think they would be fazed by this content. Again, that is a bad thing. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. I hate this whole, well, that's just the way things are attitude. That's how you get people coming up with these head-ass ideas, like making for kids, because kids will find porn anyway. There were so many replies.
Yep, and I guarantee you, there's been a lot of, I almost guarantee, because I seen something at the very end that said something about choked. So I wonder how many kids will have and will die from asphyxiation.
To me that were like, I was watching hardcore since I was 10 and I turned out fine.
Yeah,
your Twitter
okay.
likes are public, sir. No, you didn't. You don't see a problem with this because you are extremely desensitized, and honestly, so am I. I'm no swerf, I'm no worker, exclusionary, radical feminist, because first of all, I'm not a feminist. It's like our culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore.
There
our
you
culture
go.
is just
That's what I was
becoming
saying.
desensitized to, and that's not a good thing. I guess I just miss the days of tasteful thigh. Because of this oversaturation, many in Gen Z are apparently craving normal relationships on the big screen. They're bored of seeing sex everywhere.
Oh my god, and if they don't stop with all the lesbian, trans, that, I mean, I don't watch nothing from Hollywood anymore. I truly don't, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't either, because it has gotten white man bad, everything replaced by anything other. Snow White, you're now Snow Brown. I mean, what the? It has gotten ridiculously stupid. And I love that Disney lost $200+ million. That was just the budget of the film, not including all the ads. They're talking about like they spent like a total of $600 million. And so far they haven't even broke $200 million. It's beautiful.
Where to them, sex has been available one Google click away since they were like 4 years old, and it's having really negative outcomes. Like the amount of grown-ass millennials calling Gen Zers prudes and puritans is another word I saw. It's just really fucking weird. Like, I'm sorry, we're all addicted gooners. Maybe the younger generation is trying to tell us something. Someone called me a prude over this. Me. Just like with video games when I was a kid. Boys are mad because girls are playing in a space they've deemed theirs and are kicking their asses at it. So first of all, girls have already been in these spaces playing video games for...
And see, that brings me to another thing, guys, and let me know what you think about it. Because, you know, there was a time and phase where YouTube made it to where all the gun enthusiasts that were either showing a certain gun... they made it to where they couldn't, you know, they had to take it all off, or you couldn't show you firing it or something like that. But yet then you got video games running around doing it, and that's fine, where you're actually killing people on the game. I get it. It's a game. But at the same time, I did think about it. This was a while back. It probably does desensitize you to a degree, because you're not actually doing it, but at the same time you see it over and over and over, so then it's that much easier that when you actually do it, at least you think it would be, and then when you do it, I guess it depends on the person, I don't know. But what do y'all think about that, about how YouTube had, as far as I know, they've taken it all off, because the guys that I've seen on there and watched, they're still posting their stuff, so I think YouTube had taken it down.
For years. There was no issue, so it's kind of weird to be like, sorry, we're kicking your asses, boys. Like, kicking their asses at what? Being naked on camera? Being naked on camera in front of minors? I just think it's interesting and ironic how, like, 10 years ago...
I'm telling you, man, if it was a dude on camera and there was a underage kid there watching that dude, and that kid was a girl, the dude would be in handcuffs and thrown under the prison. Meanwhile, you got all of these people that are dogging her and all the other stuff. It is insane.
Years ago, these same people were fighting to keep sexualized women out of video games, and now they are fighting to keep sexualized women on Twitch, a website for video games. It has come full circle. If only Anita was here to see it. Also, imagine flipping the genders in your stupid fake fan
Thank
fiction.
you.
Imagine a grown-ass man coming into like a female space. I don't know, what's a female?
The way she just said that, imagine a grown man coming into and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Female space. The Stanley Cup fandom. Those f***ing cups. Imagine a man coming into the fandom of these f***ing cups, dangling his ding-dong around, and people are like, can you stop? That's really weird. And he's just like, oh wow, you just hate
art.
men. Like, f*** you. Go away. These women aren't stealing anything from the men. If anything, they're stealing from the women. Because the more Twitch becomes a website for this, the more this shit rises to the top. And the more normal streamers, especially women, who don't do this, sink to the bottom. If I was a female, wait, I am a female. If I was a female gamer, grinding my ass off in this male-dominated space.
Man, she is using all the wrong words. Talking about if I was a female grinding my ass off. It's like, OnlyFans? No.
It's the same way a lot of men do, and seeing what female content rises to the top of this website, I would be pretty demoralized. Look anywhere, not just Twitch. Sex work starts to appear like the only successful avenue a woman can go down. In 2014, there was a lot of talk about harassment towards women online. And my answer would always be like, just trolls, just block them, just ignore them. They're trying to get a rise out of you, which is still true, but a lot of these people aren't trolls anymore. They're your followers, your friends, your allies. You see, sexual harassment has evolved. 15 years ago, it was anonymous trolls entering your chat like, show me your tits. Now it's Jeff, he, him, politely asking if you're interested in joining.
But at the same time, those women complain about getting the big D in their mailbox. I mean, they happen to me, but anyhow, I've seen videos and stuff on it where, oh my god, I get so many D's in my mailbox. Can y'all just stop sending them? But then at the exact same time, they're doing this.
Joining OnlyFans. You know, show me your tits. For money. What is stopping me from taking off my shirt and making a ton of money? Besides, you know, a father figure. Pretty much nothing. Any woman can do this, which is why so many women do this. The pressure is insane for young women nowadays, and I honestly feel bad for them. I do.
The pressure is insane on young men. Men, period. Gotta be 6 foot tall, make 6 figures, have more than 6 inches, blah, blah, blah. And what do you have? Oh, a spare tire, a muffin top, and I don't work, and I got 5 kids. I am dead gorgeous.
I feel bad for women. What is this? What is this strange feeling? But from their point of view, from what they've been told, society is going to sexualize them anyway. You're a woman online and you don't sexualize yourself? That's okay. We got AI for that. Also, while I'm editing this, I just noticed that was an ad. That's an ad on Twitter. It says ad in the corner.
Wow.
Dystopian. Why not simply take the power back and make money off the inevitable? It's getting weird out there.
And see, what if AI made that and, you know, had changed the photo, but AI made it. And just say you want to say defamation. Who could you sue? They'll be like, well, no person did it. A computer did it. Well, who owned the computer that did it? Because that right there, that girl should have got paid.
Men and women are being pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Women are being sold this idea that they should be independent girl bosses who don't need no man. And if they want to make the choice to be sex workers, that's their choice. And I consider myself socially libertarian.
And then you wonder why, when a woman is on the side of the highway with a flat tire, that 800 cars have drove right by, all of them having a jack and a lug nut remover. All of them are able to help, but will they? Hell no. She's a woman. She can do everything a man can. Don't forget to put that car and handbrake on before you decide to jack that thing up, and I'm sure you won't take the lug nuts off before you jack it up. I've seen that, and it was sad.
So I'm all for personal choice, but how much of this really is personal choice?
It's personal. Money!
I work 5 days out of the week.
Okay.
40 hours a week. Okay.
And?
I do not make enough to live on my own.
Okay. I'll tell you a little secret. My kids are 25 and 26. I paid child support for them their entire up until they were 18. So I paid it 21 years. The judge and them, they don't care. I went to college for electrical work. Well, there was a certain point in my life I was working at Domino's Pizza, making minimum wage, getting tips. And that's it. They were trying to take $800 a month from me because I went to school for electrical work, even though I wasn't doing electrical work at the time. And I had an apartment, and I had a car payment, and they wanted me to start paying, was it insurance? Because she had Medicaid. She had free health care. But then they just wanted to take it out of me. But did they give a shit? No, they sure as hell didn't. They don't. Guys get screwed over every single day. And now Trump is starting to make it where it's a little more even, at least for divorces and stuff like that. Not necessarily to do with child support, I don't think. Oh man, I forgot what it was he did. He did something that had something to do with it, and women are not happy about it.
I would not make enough to pay.
That's it. I think it is if he don't get to see the kid, he don't have to pay child support. Was that it? I don't know. I'll find
Rent,
out.
water, electric, and eat.
Oh, imagine that. That must be a rough life. I'm so happy. I had, oh, what did I call it? Pull-out party? Yeah, because when I was done paying child support, I was the happiest man. I finally got to have all of my paycheck other than what the government took for, taxes. That lovely thing.
When are things going to go back to where you can work and support your family without being stressed?
Whenever women stop saying they can do everything a man can do and stay home with the kids after they get out of school. But that was the thing. Men used to go to work. Women stayed home. Well, they tricked y'all. Oh, you can do what a man can do. And they got you in the work field. Now guess what? We got your kids. Then they started indoctrinating them. Now you don't know what your kid's doing. You're at work all the time. They raise the price of everything because now there's 2 people to one household instead of 1 person to a household. So you kind of shot yourself in the foot there. I wish it could go back to those times. It'd be great. And that's one thing women don't seem to get. The reason men used to pay on the first date and they used to do this, that, and the third was because the man was the only one working. Women didn't go to work. So they didn't have the money on them to say, I can do it, like y'all do now. Now a lot of y'all are wanting it to go back to the way it was and chivalry is dead. Y'all killed it. Y'all shot it in the head.
Stressing out. I can't do this
Yeah, you can.
anymore.
I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days.
I swear, it ain't funny. But I went through it. All guys go through it. Everyone that's paying child support has to go through it. But just to see these women sit here and cry about, I can't do it. Should have thought about that.
I'm just feeling so much despair. And I know I'm normally really, really positive, but I'm just how is everyone else and are you okay? Because the answer's probably no.
We're gonna just start an OnlyFans. In 48 hours, how much money did you make?
48 hours.
Oh my god.
I made a little over $1 million.
$47 million to show tits and ass. Why wasn't I born a girl? Their lives are on rook.
That's what I was going to say. So simple. And y'all bitch about it's hard. Well, obviously you're not doing something right, because every which way I look, it's always easy as hell for y'all.
I wish I was a girl to make easy money like that. Women have it so easy, it's not even funny. There is a lie perpetuated by people on the internet that OnlyFans is this get-rich-quick scheme, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The average woman on OnlyFans only makes $180 a month, and that's average. Most are making way less than that. But this get-rich-quick lie is not being sold by only random people on the internet, it's also being sold by OnlyFans itself. Kiss that 99-cent ramen goodbye and say hello to endless opportunities on OnlyFans.
Until you're too old and people just scroll right past you and don't even want to look at you. Or they've already seen you. They said, nah, I've already seen it, I don't want to know more, bye.
This is just the 2023 version of, hey lady, I see you're having financial problems. Say, can you dance? I have a couple of friends who are pretty famous OnlyFans models, and they've disclosed to me that allegedly people who work for OnlyFans have approached them, telling them to post about how much money they made or show off expensive things
they're trying
they
to
bought
keep it
with
going.
money they made by being an OnlyFans model in order to recruit more women to be OnlyFans.
And that is because men are very simple creatures and we do get bored with things. So once we see it once, no point in seeing it again. You've already seen it.
Models. This includes...
And I don't understand what is the point in doing the whole OnlyFans for a guy. When you can go on a porn site, you're going to get just as much out of that as you are supposedly talking to a girl and giving her money. Like, you're not... One... You think she's going to stop OnlyFans to be with you if magically she was like, oh my God, you are my dream catch, and just quit? No, she's going to keep going, and that it is going to bother you eventually, at least most guys. I mean, if you're confident about yourself and or you don't have low self-esteem, because I've seen so many guys finally get one of the bad chicks and then be upset because she's wearing basically the exact same outfit she was wearing when they met him. And, oh, you can't wear that. You look like a hoe. It's like, then why did you get with her in the first place? Go find a two and stick with it.
Includes showing off handbags, expensive clothes, makeup, cars, and even houses. Like, I just bought my first house thanks to OnlyFans.
Well, if they really made $57 million, I hope they would get a house.
It's disgusting to do this in general, but especially disgusting to do this during a housing crisis. It's just evil. It's incredibly rare you can make a living doing this, just like YouTube. And I could not f***ing imagine if YouTube sold itself, like, tired of being poor? Become a YouTuber. Like,
drop your boobs on the desk.
Now, why would they do this? Why would OnlyFans manipulate and entice poor, desperate people like this? Oh,
that's what the elite does.
Of course it is. That's always why. In a way, we are all selling our bodies to labor. We are all whether you work at a fast food place, you're a lawyer.
Well, I told y'all earlier, I'm a hoe. Yeah, I'm a hoe. You don't ever lose it.
Or a YouTuber. You're a We're all for capital. At the end of the day, it's a job. These Twitch girls, these OnlyFans girls, they're getting their bag.
They're
like
gonna
me,
get
like
played
you,
out.
like everyone else. And I guarantee you, a lot of the men who about OnlyFans models would do it instantly if they could. You would all be and why wouldn't you go to college?
If I could make 40,000 a year doing OnlyFans by myself, because I've never been on OnlyFans. I really haven't. I don't know if they got where it's couples and all that. I don't know what they do. Only thing I do remember were Island Boys. I heard that they had an OnlyFans and that they were kissing each other, and I was just like, oh my God, what? I'm like, dude, that's suspect as fool. What is this world coming to, guys? Please explain. Let's finish this up.
College and go 100K in debt for a useless degree that won't get you a job. Or this. Why wouldn't you? Break your back and spirit working a 9-to-5 that you absolutely hate and get no satisfaction from. Or this. Why wouldn't you? And that, for the modern woman, is probably the most black-pilling question right now. Why wouldn't you? Get exploited or exploit yourself. So is it really the Twitch Th0t's fault? Taking advantage of...
Thing is, a lot of them will not save the money and they will go through it just because fast money is quick money to leave too. The faster you get it, the faster you spend it. And eventually, you're going to get old. And it won't take long from someone that's 18 and 20 years old to someone that's 26 and 30 years old, there's a big difference right there. I mean, you wouldn't think it, and as you're going through it, you don't realize it, but there's a big difference. But yeah, their money will be spent, and then they will have nothing to fall back on.
Of a market to make it in an overwhelmingly male-dominated field. Is it really her fault for trying to survive in this unforgiving world, in a society that will abuse, exploit, and degrade her anyway? Is it really her fault?
No!
Yes! Yes, it is! Get off Twitch! It isn't for porn! The end! So that was that video. I have been wanting to talk about this subject for years now. What do you guys think about this? Do you also feel that desensitization feeling I'm talking about? And how old were you when you first found this kind of stuff? Has it affected your life or relationships at all? But who cares about relationships? Who cares about real women when we can have an AI girlfriend? Am I right? Anyway, I will see you guys soon with a new video, possibly about that. New video for Valentine's Day. Okay.
Alright. Honestly, well, let me see if she says anything else. Bye. Oh, alright. So, great video. I thought it was awesome. She said exactly what I had been bitching about half the time was, it's not a porn site. It's not. You're in the wrong spot. Go do what you want, where you want to do it. But if the site don't allow it, you shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. That's the thing. You want to do porn? Go do porn. Do it all day long. Do it until you can blow smoke rings out of it. Just go do it over there where you're supposed to do it at. That's all. But yeah, great video. Loved it. And let's see, I'm sure she wanted it to be in the comments. But if she magically ever sees this video, I think I had to be 12 or 13 back in 1992, 93. Yeah, that was the first time I seen any boobs in a Playboy or a Hustler or something like that. It was my friends' dads. Whenever they were gone, we were playing at the house, and we come across them, and I was like, huh. And that was that. But I never, as far as introduced to it on the internet, I didn't own my first computer until I was 21, so I was of age, and the cell phones before then were the old Nokia block phone, you know, the Nokia Crickets that were just a LCD screen. You didn't get no videos, none of that. I'm an old head, I guess you could say. So, anyhow, guys, I hope you liked the video. Sorry for all the pausing. I just had things to say. Let me know what you would like for me to watch. Let me know if you liked the video, and let me know when you got introduced to the stuff. Guess go ahead and let me know, and I'll see what you say. All right, guys, take it easy. God bless.